It was February 2022.
Okay, I remember that resolution. And you are saying that the committee has not been set up?
Correct, sir.
Since February. And we're now in
September, sir.
Can it be said that you have slept on your rights?
If you're say so.
Honorable Fulata, has he slept on his rights? February to
September.
August, October. The resolution has naturally.
I think the chairman of our business should have followed up on that and ensure that that has happened, sir.
Don't worry, we'll set it up next week. Clerk, Is statute bad? What do you mean by that?
This resolution was taken in the last section of the assembly. Now we're in a new section. Because our section ended in June, July. And now we're in October, or September. We're in September. So we're in another section of the assembly. If that issue was not resolved as the other assembly was done, I believe, Mr. Speaker, that for now it's statute bad.
Read the rule that says it's statute bad.
If judging from our rules, section
what does...
Order, please. Order, please.
Have you found it?
Yeah, when I go to other one,
Chairman EFCC, sit down, please.
sub rule 1 and rule 2. Other one, sub rule 1 and rule 2. It is required, Mr. Speaker, that the House is governed by orders, rules, conventions, and tradition. Now, if our rules, based on previous presiding officers, that traditions are maintained and conventions are allowed in our rules, it presupposes that if in the past Mr. Speaker has ruled based on tradition of the House that issues taken in the last assembly ought to have been decided and disposed of. I'm coming. Last session. Can you listen to me, Mr. Speaker?
Let's allow Honorable Osai.
Mr. Speaker, this issue was resolved in the last session of the assembly. The last section of assembly ended in July. And resolution was taken in the ended in July this year. The last assembly session of the assembly ended in July this year. And a resolution was taken in February, which is in the last section. Mr. Speaker, a resolution that was not decided based on convention and tradition in the last session cannot be brought to this current section. The rules are clear. The traditions are there. The conventions are there. I think we want to enrich the body of knowledge of the Parliament. And if we are to enrich the body of knowledge of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, issues not resolved in the last section of the Assembly cannot be brought forward to a new section of the Assembly.
First of all,
on principle, I argue it with you. You were a minority as of that time. And the speakers of that time, which is Tamboa, ruled that issues that was resolved by the last section of the Assembly and was not disposed of cannot be brought to a new section of the Assembly. And that's based on tradition. And that section...
No.
A section of Assembly ends in one calendar year, section.
I think, Honorable Osai, before I tell you what my opinion is, let's hear from Olariwaju.
I am Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olariwaju. I represent the entire people of Mumbai, Ido, Ilejebeji Federal Constituency. I am from Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, assuming without conceding that the position of my honorable colleagues is true, Mr. Speaker, that case is distinguishable from the case at hand. Mr. Speaker, there was a motion on the floor of the House. A decision was taken that the committee be established. Mr. Speaker, the motion as discharge his duty.
No, yeah. That's
It
my
is
position.
not the prerogative of the mover of the motion to set up the committee. And Mr. Speaker, it is only when the committee has been set up and they didn't finish the work, you can now say they be discharged. The committee has not even set up. The same leadership is still on ground. There is no time bound for the leadership to take their decision. So, Mr. Speaker, the EU attack is totally distinguishable from the EU, Honorable colleague just cited. In any case, Mr. Speaker, there is no facts on the precedent so cited. And, Mr. Speaker, even though in law and in practice, we move forward, we look backward to move forward. Mr. Speaker, for us to look backward to move forward, he must cite the particular precedent. You can't place something on another. I've always said he must cite the particular fact and precedent for us to look back, and move forward. Mr. Speaker, in the absence of none, Mr. Speaker, I pray your lordship to discharge this particular motion.
Presumption. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I pray that this motion on ground be ruled out of order, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes.
Mr.
Withdraw.
Speaker, a motion has a mandate required that the House have resolved to mandate a particular issue to be disposed within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. That motion has a mandate. Now, if you agree with me that that motion has a mandate, that means the mandate, what we give to most motions here in this assembly, is that probably a motion lasts within the neighborhood of 3 months, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 7 weeks. Now, Mr. Speaker, that motion has a mandate. Now, I'm coming.
Go ahead. Let him finish. But please allow him.
That motion has a gestation period. And if that motion has a gestation period to be disposed within 3 months and submit to the House, it requires, Mr. Speaker, if in that life of that section of the Assembly, and that motion has not been disposed of within the neighborhood of the mandate of that motion, it requires that that motion cannot be transferred to another section of the Assembly, because the mandate of that motion, based on resolution of the House, has expired.
It can be brought up again.
Yeah, it can be brought up through a substantive motion. See, we learn from this process. And that is the process of the Parliament.
Amended that. It has been amended.
The motion has a mandate. With the prayer.
Before the point of order, I just wanted to clarify something. Honorable Side, what is a session?
In the life of every assembly, Mr. Speaker, I'm coming. In the life of every assembly, which lasts for 4 years, it has 4 sections. A section is from the time the assembly has been inaugurated to the next calendar year of that particular section of the assembly, which ends normally based on our own in July. So that's a section of assembly. So in a 4-year assembly, you have 4 sections. And they were governed by this calendar. And if in February, a matter was resolved by this Honorable House to mandate a committee to be ad-hoc committee to be set up to look at issues. Now, what is the resolution of that issue? The mandate of the resolution of that lasts, say, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. And if it lasts within that realm of the distance, it then means, Mr. Speaker, that expires even when you have not, the chair has not set up that committee. That committee cannot be transferred.
Honorable Osai, when does the mandate of a committee begin?
Thank you. That's a good question. A mandate of a committee expired at the resolution begins. Yeah, a mandate of the committee begins at when Mr. Speaker set up that committee. Now I'm coming.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Listen very well. Can you listen?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, you asked me a question. Listen. He said mandate of when does he begin? Yeah, what I'm saying is this. Now, the mandate of that committee ought to have started in that section. Ought to have started in that section. But when the mandate did not start at that section, he cannot be transferred to another section. He cannot be transferred to another section of the assembly.
So it cannot. You said if the committee is not set up, not due to the fault of the mover of the motion or the person affected, then that mandate has started from the day we took the resolution, and it's dead. Let me refer you to, and I want you to read it out, Order 12, Rule 17 of the House. You start with the side heading, the marginal heading. It says, page, I think 86. You have it? Huh? Page 86. Order 12, Rule 17. So read it out for the House. It's all right. Go ahead. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Document. Don't worry.
No, read it there.
Don't worry. Thank you. You see, when we push this issue, Mr. Speaker.
No. I just want you to read the side, what do you call it now? The marginal.
Yeah, I will, yeah. Business continue from assembly to assembly.
Business what?
Continue from assembly to assembly.
No. Before that one. Okay. 17.
Business continue from section to section. Section to section. Thank you. I will read it. The legislative business of the House, which remain undetermined at the close of a section of the House, shall be resumed, proceeded with in the same manner as if no adjournment of the House has taken place, and all papers referred to committees and not reported upon at the close of the section of the House shall be returned to the office of the clerk. Office of the clerk of the House. Of the House. Retained until the next session of the House, when there shall be returned to the several committees to which the House previously been referred. It's different. Completely different. Completely different. And I will assert that authority here. Completely different. Please, can you listen to Len? Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I can establish it completely.
Honorable Osai, in the interest of time, in the interest of time, there's nothing to establish. The language of the rules is very clear. First of all, the reason why I told you to read the side, felt that session to session meant his own session to session. There's no way to tell. So I think we should be, what was that word you used to describe me? Diplomatic enough to allow members to continue to express themselves freely. We learn every day. Although it has taken Osai how many years to learn this particular point, but we learn every day. But it was a good, interesting discussion, I think. It was a good discussion.
I don't know how I might be senior in ranking, but I can boldly say that I'm an authority in parliamentarian issue. And I can tell you that. No, because of what you said.
Address me. Address the chair. You have no business to address me.
It's okay, Honorable Osai. Let's
If you
move
have
on.
a point to make, address
Let's
the
move
chair.
on.
Don't address me. You have no that right to address a member seated.
Honorable.
Address the chair. No, he should not. He should not address me. He should
Leader.
not address me on the floor. He should not address me. I will not stand up. Address the chair. Don't address me and don't point
It's okay.
at me. Yes, he should
Honorable
address the chair.
Kolawole, the committee will be announced on Tuesday. To remind me, we'll put the committee together on Tuesday.